Allah Bari Ta'ala, in His wisdom, He displaced the Jews. By who? By the Arabs. These Jews were looking down upon the Arabs for 3,000 years. They said, you see, Father Ibrahim alayhi salam, he had two wives, Sarah and Hajara. They say, the Jews, that Sarah was his legitimate wife. He entered into a contract with her. But Hagar, they say Hajara, was a bondwoman, a slave woman. She was actually a princess of Egypt. The ruler of Egypt, he presented her to him. But the Jews, because of their hatred, they say she was a bondwoman, a slave woman. As such, her children count for nothing. They call the Arabs Hagarenes, children of Hagar, Hagarenes. And the religion is Hagarism. This is the insulting way they speak about the Arabs, their cousins, and the religion, Hagarism. For 3,000 years they were looking down. I think there might be some windows open on the top. There is a draft coming directly. So it can't be air conditioned. I think it must be some windows. Is there a floor on the top? Because I can see the draft is coming right on my head. I don't know how long I will last with this cold. You know, I'm getting colder by the minute. Yeah, it's warmer here. There is a world of difference. If you brothers can come a little closer, it will be much nicer. So they were looking down upon the Arab cousins. Good for nothing. On the side of the Jews, the Arabs are good for nothing. Barbarians, illiterates, ummi people. And Allah Bari Ta'ala chooses them and makes them to sit on the heads of the Jews. But now once He puts you on the pedestal, it is not forever. You have to do the work, produce the fruits. You don't produce the fruits, يَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ. He will substitute in your place another people. That's the law. Allah, why don't people learn? That's the law. So the Muslims spread out. They went as far as Spain, as far as the Atlantic coast. They went and conquered Spain, and they ruled that country for 800 years. Muslims ruled the European nation, Spain, for 800 years. No Christian nation has ever ruled Muslims for that period of time. Do you know that? The longest that they ever ruled was in Mozambique, the Portuguese. See, Mozambique is a Muslim territory. Even today, 60% of the people of Mozambique are Muslims. Here, next door to us. This place was an Arab outpost, trading post. And there was a governor there when the Portuguese came along and conquered them. There was a governor by the name of Musa bin Baik. Musa bin Baik was the governor of that territory. When the Portuguese, with his superior gun power, he came and knocked hells into them and conquered the place. Whose place? Musa bin Baik. They couldn't say Musa bin Baik, so they say Mozambique. That's how the name Mozambique comes about. The Muslims went crossed the straits, the sea between Africa and Spain, and landed at a place, Jabal. They called that mountain Jabal al-Tariq. Tariq was the commander who crossed over from Africa to Spain, and the place where they landed, they called that mount Jabal al-Tariq. Now, the Westerners, they call it Gibraltar. Jabal al-Tariq, they say Gibraltar. The Muslims went as far as the Philippines. They had the trading post there. Ma'manullah. By the help of Allah, they reached there. Ma'manullah. They say Manila. Muslim. The longest that the Christians ever ruled Muslims was in Mozambique for 500 years. They ruled your motherland, Indonesia, for 300 years, the Dutch. 300 years. Longest was in Mozambique, 500 years. The Muslims ruled Spain for 800 years. What were they doing? Muslims were having a jolly good time, wallah. As the Afrikaner is having now, here, the white man, same thing. The Muslim was same position. In Spain for 800 years he had it. The Afrikaner is here only for 300 years. He's having a good time. The halwa and the nice things here. He's having it only for 300 years. The Muslims had it for 800 years. And they're listening to the dire warnings of the Quran. Allah is warning them. He's warning us all times. The warnings are eternal. فَلَمَّا نَسُوا مَا ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ. Before that, say, كَمْ تَرَكُوا مِنْ جَنَّاتٍ وَعُيُونٍ. كم تركوا من جنات وعيون وزوء ومقام كريم ونعمة كانوا فيها فاكهين كذلك أورثناها قوما آخرين فما بقت عليهم السماء والأرض وما كانوا منذرين. They read this. They read in the Salat, during the Quranic, the Rakats, in our Salat, they read. During the Taraweeh, they read. And they read the Tilawat in the homes, they read. These are Arabs. They understood what they were reading. It was the language. In our case, we have a lame excuse for saying we don't understand. It's an excuse we have, we don't understand what we read. Allah has given us warning, but this is like water on duck's back because we didn't know what the warnings were about.